Hey gang, come along with Fletcher and I on a wonderful ride in the countryside. We're going to visit a lovely place this week on your bi-weekly episode of Pocket Cast. Where are we going? A little place in the middle of nowhere. A little place called Hotel Dusk. We're going to check in, and we're going to visit room 215.
The wish room.
The wishing room. I fucking love this game, bro.
It's, yeah, like I said, it's like, I've seen it a lot of times commented as like the best DS game, or like, this is my favorite DS game. This is one of my favorite. This is like in my top, just like the way up there in favorite games, right? I already loved the DS, so that's,
Yeah.
I guess, taken. But yeah, it's so, nothing else looks like this game.
No.
Start right there. Like,
Nothing else plays like this game.
oh, could you could, I think you could, I think you could play this game on a modern console, but I don't know how you would lose something in that transition. You'd
100%, dude. Holding the DS, I guess vertically.
Yeah,
on
vertically,
its side,
like a book.
like a book. So sick, dude.
Dude, I felt so cool playing that. Like,
It's the
at
most
home in my
comfortable
hand,
game.
just- oh yeah.
Nothing like I didn't even play with the stylus. I just used my fingers.
Oh, I used stylus. I would set it down. I played this game. I never play the DS at work. You can't play video games at work.
No.
But when it's turned sideways,
Yeah, you
and
can read a
setting
fucking digital
down,
book.
and you're using your fucking stylus to go through, and yeah, you're reading a fucking book. There's gameplay, but there's so much time where like I'm reading.
Yeah.
I felt no guilt playing that game, and I didn't feel like I was very obviously playing a game. It doesn't feel like you're playing a game. Doesn't look like you're playing a game.
Mm-mm.
There's a resonance. Nope, that's the wrong word.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it work.
But to that, just like,
Yeah.
it sits with you through and through. That because of the way that you're holding it, you forget that you're holding it.
Yeah, no, you're chilling. I mean, I struggle to play some of the games on the DS if I'm not like maintaining perfect posture, sitting upright, and like when I'm trying to play late at night, like right before bed, I'm trying to like get comfy in bed, and you can't do like the side like leaning on your elbow bullshit because you got to play claw for pretty much everything on this fucking.
It is. There is always and you can't lay on your back with your hands up. Because
you just don't get the leverage.
Well, your hands will start to go numbish from being, or like your elbows will get sore just from being at that 90 degree. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we're not kids anymore, so I'm definitely not getting away with some of the weird bullshit I was getting away with playing handhelds in the day.
A weird way to like lay in bed and play it. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Dude, I remember I used to play when I got the SP. Without the backlight. I turned the backlight off so my mom couldn't tell. And I had this shitty digital clock. And by digital, it had like there's a word for the type of lettering used in the, you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, all the numbers are displayed in their segments.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those, but it had like was this green light.
Is fractal the right word? Not fractal, vector.
Maybe.
I think it's kind of like a vector, but it's yeah. I know exactly what you mean though.
Yeah.
Like it's like in like 80s.
Yeah, it's just like the little
like,
bars that like everything's in a rectangle.
Yeah, everything's separated rectangular.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and you can kind of see the backlight of all.
Yeah, it just illuminates whatever section for whatever the number is displaying. Yeah, one of those, and just like this shitty green light, and like I would read by that thing, and like fucking nose to the paper, and I would like rest it up on the pillow and put my SP screen right underneath of it, and just I don't know how, but I would play Fire Emblem.
Hell yeah, dude! That's
Fuck.
basically playing the original Game Boy, right? Because you've got the green.
Yeah, the most authentic experience on the micro DS.
Yeah, the micro DS.
I mean, that's what they did. They just stretched. They've been just stretching out the handhelds for years. Let's be honest. Like, we're on to you, Nintendo. You ain't fooling anyone.
There was the Game Boy Advance. Was it the Micro or the Nano? That tiny, the little. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Did it fold?
No, it was a tiny little square. It was like a rectangle. It was
like the bottom half of a DS.
It was like, no, I bet it was like 2 to 3 of the games themselves.
Oh, like just the carts?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's a small handheld.
Jesus.
It's cool. It's got a cool look to it. You could take the faceplate and like change the faceplate out.
That sounds kind of cool.
It was kind of neat, but like I don't think it was backlit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never had a backlit GBA. I didn't have the SP.
So I had one of those god awful. I mean, they were fucking banging at the time. One of those contraptions that you like just mash over top of your Game Boy Color.
Over.
Yeah, it was this monstrosity, and it would like clip onto the back, and it had like a this magnifying glass that was the size of the screen, and you could like pull it out. It was all jank with the wires hanging out.
Yeah,
and it had like little LED
too.
lights.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely weren't LED. Excuse me.
Oh, but they came under the.
Yeah, they were under the magnifying
yes,
glass.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then
I don't think I had that.
The wings would fold out like on old school TV box
speakers.
with this fucking speakers and plug into the 3.5.
Yeah,
I splurged on that shit, dude.
Yeah.
And then I had this sick carrying case that looked like it was for an like old school camera, dude. Oh.
I think I still have like 2 or 3 of those in my parents' basement.
But I fucked with that shit, dude. I'd play with that thing in the daylight. I'd be like, look at this shit.
I got my magnifying glass.
Yo, dude,
yeah,
I'm fucking.
how big
I'm looking at pixels, dog, from back here.
From way back here, I can relax.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm not getting away with any of that. I could use the magnifying glass. That would be helpful, probably.
Yeah, well, with this game, you don't even have to worry about it because you could lay in bed so comfortably and play Hotel Dusk. I, however, did not want to lay in bed and play Hotel Dusk because I will fall asleep playing just about anything in bed. And this is a game that you just like need to pay attention to.
You really
every second.
I do have some baby gripes about this game.
I want to hear them right off the bat.
Right off the bat?
Yeah, let's get into that right
All right, okay. I gotta say, lack of direction. So if you go into like the main menu, right? You tap on the notebook or whatever, it opens up the menu. You can go into, I think there's a summary section.
Yep.
But it only gives you, granted, the most insanely in-depth like paragraph of detail for the last chapter. Like, oh, you talked to this dude and he said this, and then you thought really that, and it's like, oh shit, this is every fucking conversation I've had in the last chapter. So that's nice, but nothing to tell you like, what did you do when you stopped playing last night and where were you supposed to go?
That's what your memo book is for.
Yeah, fuck you. Okay, I know what the memo book's for, but like, I didn't write everything down because.
You don't write everything down. It's just if you're going to bed and you know you need a note, a reminder for what you were doing.
I should have just written down like what hotel rooms I needed to go visit so I knew who to talk to. That's what I should have done.
Depending on which part you're at, sure.
Because I'd get to like a fork or something, or I got this, and I'm supposed to go talk to this guy and then give this back to this person.
Every time I'd pick something up like that,
I would forget.
Anytime the game would say, I should write this down, I write it down.
Oh, I wrote that shit down for sure. Well, okay, that's not true.
Obviously
actually.
not. Because
I'm thinking of a very specific spot, and I was like, well, no, I thought about writing it. I didn't write it down. Yep. I didn't remember.
Yeah, I always write it down. I know my memory.
So, okay, so that's, to be fair, that is a straight up game mechanic, but that's just bad development.
Let's hear your next gripe.
What was my next one? I had a few.
All right, so we got rid of the the memory part.
Yep. Yeah, I think that about does it for my gripes.
Really? There's no other gripes?
Not really. I
was gonna say if you wanted to go on direction.
I have some critiques, but not straight up gripes.
There's definitely some direction, lack of direction, just in like where to go a couple of times and like what to do.
There are, yeah, it's sometimes it's blatant and it's like you need to straight up do this, but also there's just a lot of weird checkpoints. I mean, it's what is this game? It's ultimately a
Yeah, it's a point and click adventure, graphic novel.
oh yeah, very much so. Like,
And there's something else.
mystery?
Choices matter, I guess. Kind of mystery game.
yeah, if this is the Steam listing, those would be the tags.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Like, that is
Choices matter, but
not really because you can't continue on.
yeah, it does
if
kind
you
of
make-
stonewall you. It just makes you repeat the scenario, and I'm like, well, yeah, that was an interesting question you asked. Ask the other one.
There are 3 endings you can get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So
Hell yeah.
kind of matter. To a degree.
All right, I fuck with that. That's pretty cool.
But I don't know what choices make those.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. Choice is definitely a big thing in there, but also so is save scumming. So definitely not a tactic you can apply to this game.
Oh, kind of. You have 3 saves.
Oh shit, you do. Oh damn, I could have save scummed this.
Oh,
game.
I kind of did. Yeah, there's a couple spots where I do. Yeah.
Damn, I literally thought of it and I was like, oh, it's an old.
But then I
game,
get
it's
through the
retro.
chapter and everything worked out, and I'm like, okay.
Oh hell yeah.
Doesn't matter really that much now. I'll get whatever ending I get. I'm not like gonna do this game specifically for this ending. Like I'm trying to play through it without as little help as possible. But then go into the walkthrough when I need it.
There were a couple of spots where I definitely had to hit up a walkthrough. I was like, I have no fucking clue where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I know I had like specific ideas of where I'd ran into spots where I didn't have an idea where to go, and then had to turn to manual. But now that we're talking about it, of course, I can't think of specifically what they were. I know one was around the time of the diner, and I just couldn't. Or not the diner, but the dinner. And then
Did you figure the fountain pen out on your own?
no, I did not.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That one I went and talked to every fucking NPC in the entire fucking hotel and nothing was happening. Couldn't call anyone on the goddamn phone.
I knew the moment that I got the pen because I've played this game before.
Oh, you bitch.
So I knew when I got it, I could remember. It was ringing a bell. I knew that there was a certain way that I needed to get that engraving to come out, and no, I had to turn to help for that one. I could not remember what it was. I knew there was a gimmick to it, and then there is another great part to the gimmick. I'm going to spoil this one. You can't blow into your microphone to get it off.
Are you talking about? Well, I guess so.
So what you have to do is, sorry, I should just explain that. So with the pen that you get, it's got an engraving on the side of it, but the pen's been so used that the ink in that engraving has worn away and they can't read it.
Oh, that's right.
And so then you have to go and get either flour on it or put chalk on it. And then when you do that, you're supposed to tap the pen until the
you have to
powder
like
comes off.
shake off
shaking
the
it
excess
off.
or whatever.
But
Yeah.
you can also blow into the microphone and it will make it go off. It'll come away from it as well. And so when I accidentally figured that out. I don't know how, but I accidentally went like, oh, well, I didn't tap it and it came off.
Well, that's tight.
So I was like, oh, it must have been the mic, must have breathed into it or something. And so I kept trying that and it wouldn't work. Then I had to look it up and it was like, you have to tap it. Instead of like, if you blow on it, it will all go away.
Oh.
Right. Makes sense. It wouldn't stay in the engraving if you're blowing on it versus if you're to tap it.
I did read about that on one of the walkthroughs and I was like, oh, okay. I always forget that the microphone's even a thing. It's a very seemingly rarely used mechanic, I feel like. I mean,
I think it's used to throw you off in a lot of games because
that's
of that.
fair. It's a good one too.
It's such an unassuming mic.
Yeah. It's just that little fucking slot.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking vent, honestly.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. I'm annoyed because I wanted to have figured that one out on my own. I found the box in the kitchen that had the little flour bag that was ripped open or some shit. And I was like, oh, I can interact with the flour. And I'm like, why the fuck do I give a shit about flour? Of all things, like, the game is... There's a lot of exploration to it. Like, with any point and click, right? It's all investigation. Like, what can I interact with? What tools do I need to pick up to be used later, and when and where? And I think the game does a good job with that. I'm probably just bad at these games. I don't know. But, like, I had found the flour, and I had picked up the pen.
Yeah, so you had the 2 items.
I had the 2 items, and then I went to bed. And then I remembered that I had the pen, but I just, like, nothing gave me any sense that, oh, this is the current puzzle I need to be working on to progress.
So because I couldn't find the powder or, like, what I was supposed to put on it. If I would have come across that bag of flour, I would have known exactly what to do with it. But I never came across it on my own. Like, I walked in there so many times and just never, like, I was like, I swear I looked at these boxes. I swear I did. But, like, there's multiple stacks of boxes. You can click on the wrong stack of boxes, and it's just like, there's some boxes.
Yeah, just like, there. Oh, hey, look, boxes. And you get some nondescript
click on the box
text.
to the left. And you click on that. Yeah. And that's all of these games. All of these kinds of games are just, at least in this one, a lot of the interactions make sense. You get into some older adventure games, and the interactions don't make any sense at all. And
not real life shit.
How was I supposed to know that this guy wanted a banana? It never gave me that as any kind of request. There's no way I could have made that connection unless I would have wandered into this library, which is actually ahead of where I'm supposed to be at, and read a book on this 5th bookshelf that tells you, you know, it's a riddle actually, and those games. So
you have to read 5 books because there's in 5 broken pages.
And it's always though that the best stories come out of the adventure game. They're so well written.
This one is so fucking good.
I can just live in the hotel. If I need a VR.
Oh, dude, a VR adaptation of this game would be fucking insane.
That would be great. But then you're going to miss out on the character drawings.
No, I don't think so. I think if you just kept the 3D environment and like you're you, and then when you see everybody, it's still that like 2D Paper Mario flipping back and forth, like you know what I mean? That old school. There's a word for it, and I don't know what it is.
I want to call it stereographic, but
I have no idea. The Doom uses the same thing. Like the original.
That's the 2D sprites and the 3D environment. Yeah, I like a 3D environment with a 2D sprite as your. Yeah,
it's and they're very like anime-esque characters, heavy Japanese art style influence.
That's so funny. They're American Japanese.
It feels like a westernized. It's definitely a Japanese art origin, I suppose, but it's like a Western story.
It's developed by
Sing. I always want to think that's a Q at the end.
Japanese, I don't know.
But
they do
something.
It's so wild. I didn't realize that they were open for such a short amount of time and put out banger after banger after banger.
Well, they only developed themselves 8 titles.
Yeah,
which is insane.
They're all good.
Yeah.
What was that noise?
I don't know. It's just my body accelerating in age. I don't know, dude.
That was that dog. You got that dog.
Yeah, that was my dog of me. Just a little baby disgruntled.
It feels like an old yappy dog in the yard.
Oh God, the ones that look like they should be dead.
Yeah, it's just got the like
eyes bugging out and shit, and their tongues hanging out.
That's him barking.
Teeth are all misaligned.
They had to cut his tongue out because he had cancer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They have a yellow ribbon in their yard for it.
Oh, I can unfortunately very well imagine this dog, and I hate it.
Yeah, me too. It's white and black and shit stuck in his fur.
Oh, we're thinking of drastically different dogs. But I mean, I don't think either of us is wrong either.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of ways to picture this dog.
Christ.
Your cat just pulled my hand in to cuddle it.
Yeah, dude, he's an affectionate hound.
Hold on, I gotta get my legs together because he's falling between my legs.
I know
There we go.
he's all about the cuddles and cares very little for his own well-being.
Safety. Just give me the lovin's, man.
Yeah, dude.
But what were we saying about Hotel Dusk?
It's fucking amazing, and we love this game.
It is.
No, we were talking about the art style. So,
So I feel like you're missing out though on describing the conversation art's what I'm talking about.
No, I feel like you could
Where
still
it's the black and white drawing, and it's got like all their emotional reactions. It's got your character Kyle Hyde's reactions.
That's true. Well, I mean, maybe when you go and interact with a character, then you just become a viewer and you see this transposed in the 3D environment in front of you where the character originated.
Sure, sounds jarring, but yeah. In VR, it sounds jarring.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like it's the future right now compared to when this game came out. We could make it happen.
Give me Hotel Dusk as a VR room server, whatever, that I can a map that I can just go in.
I mean, it's probably going to have to be like made on Roblox servers if you're okay with that.
Why?
Because I don't know where else you're going to come across this.
There's great developers out there that love this game, that just want to do a passion project. I bet it already exists. Hopefully, I really hope so, because I would absolutely spend too much time in there.
that would be pretty tight. We should look that up because we could do that. We have the technology.
It gives off such a feeling of, so it's a noir-esque story, right?
For sure. Takes place in LA.
But it's something about, and I don't know if I just know a different kind of noir, but I don't think of noir in LA or in the heat or in the daylight.
It's more about the archetypes of the characters, I feel like.
Right, but I think of rainy New York or something like that. I think of and I understand LA. What's it called? What's that game? LA Noire? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The reason I could not get into that game was because it was so sunny and bright, and it just didn't, and colorful. It just didn't feel like.
Yeah, give me my Sin City vibes.
Give me that black and white. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they give me that rugged rundown.
The only backlighting I want is from lightning strikes, motherfuckers.
And, fucking bar lights and cigarettes.
Right, yeah. I've never seen that guy's full face. Just the crown of his nose and around his lips. Every time he takes a drag on a cigarette.
But his bowler hat still covers his
right,
eyes.
You can't see shit under there. I don't even know if he's wearing glasses,
I don't even know if he's human.
He's a reptilian man.
Yeah, man.
Ex-cop.
Getting deep on this story.
Yeah.
This game it's not even in LA, is it? It's in Nevada.
Well, it's outside of LA. Yeah.
And it's definitely that environment, but it fits that noir vibe.
Oh, dude.
So perfectly.
It's so baller.
So well. It's this Hotel California, just middle of nowhere, desolate. Oh, you know what else it somewhat reminds me of is Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Ooh.
How the house is just out in the middle, because there's just something about this hotel that feels, and I haven't finished the game in long enough that I don't remember how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like it's purgatory or heaven or hell or something. Kyle Hyde is fucking dead. Right,
yeah. Your
confinement
confinement to the hotel almost feels like you are locked in this plane.
You can interact with every door except for the exit.
Yeah, doesn't even give you the option.
No,
and you're just trapped here. I gotta kind of interrupt.
Yeah, let's go.
But it also fits. End of chapter 3, you finally are able to access the door to the roof. Yes. At the very, very end. Bro, and I literally did that right before you got here, because I didn't realize it was at the end of the chapter. I was just finally got past that fucking bookmark, so I'm gonna I was man, we'll see what's next. Straight up had one conversation, boom, onto the roof. Beautiful orange sunset, like in the background, and you've got that. What you have to assume is a neon sign, and the supports coming down on the roof and shit for it. And I'm like, dude, whoa, because like the 3D backdrop of the hotel itself is almost like a washed watercolor-esque.
Yeah.
Very grainy.
Low poly.
Slightly, I think, almost intentionally abstract to a certain point. Like, and when you get to places where you can inspect things, you get a bit more clarity. But overall, like, and it's got just a really, I almost had an Okami feeling about it, not in the literal sense of like that traditional Japanese watercolor,
but the way that it just fades,
just the way it flows, and because it's not static either, right? It almost feels like the color itself has a little bit of life to it, and it doesn't necessarily always stay in the lines, right? It's a little sloppy, but it gives it a really like alive feeling to it in a way.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It makes it, instead of the painting just ending at the frame, it fades into the world.
Yeah,
at the end, you know, because it doesn't. I know exactly what you mean, because there's never a point where the color just stops where the line stops. It always goes a little bit past that and then fades into like the back of the canvas, if you will. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just so beautifully done.
It super beautiful,
so well. Mm-hmm. I love it so much. I can't get over the combination and something that you think wouldn't work well of this. It's either that you're looking at that 3D poly, like low poly, grainy environment, or you're looking at this amazing hand-drawn characters that have all these expressions, or you're looking at the sunset and the background, and it's just, there's so much going on and so many different styles coming together that you would think would be too much. But there's so much, so little, there's so much control and restraint on how much of what they're putting into each scene. Yeah,
no, I can't argue with any of that. Like, it's just a pleasant place to be in, for sure.
It's also a little spooky.
It is spooky, like that same trailing effect where, like, at the edge of the screen always there's almost a slight fade to it, and it almost leaves the suggestion that there's nothing behind you, but it's always there, right? You turn around or something, and like it's rendering in full time. There's no skipping or anything like that, but it's just it does give this weird emptiness behind you feeling, which lends a little bit of creepiness to it, but also just that same idea of like purgatory, or just like you are in this confined area to figure out what the fuck's going on, and like you're just like, it's a slightly unbelievable story, but as it pans out, you're like, not really. This is
actually kind of, it pieces together.
Yeah, it really does. And there's so many characters to meet, and honestly, I find them all endearing. And there's a couple I really fucking don't like.
Yeah, and I don't think you're supposed to. I think, and even our protagonist is hard to like.
Oh, he's kind of an asshole.
He's kind of a fucking dick.
I don't know that I would go so far as to put it under a gripe, because there's times where, and I'm not sure if I'm using this term correctly, but localization. I don't know if localization has to do with the technology component of like games and like making them available to different places in the world, or if that has to do in part with like translations and making it applicable to the target audience in a different release area.
So this game was first released in America.
Oh, I thought
it was first.
Was it?
I want to say, maybe. Now you're making me question myself.
I remember reading about it, but I didn't write down where it released first.
It is originally released as the secret window or something like that? Or no,
That's the sequel.
Room?
The Last Window.
Angel Room.
The Wishing Room.
Wishing Room. Is that what it's called originally?
I think
But
that was
don't know
the
if that was
original
just a
working
development title because I could have sworn it released in America first.
It might
and
have.
then released in Japan.
Well, there were regardless of whether or not I'm using the right term.
Sure.
What I felt had to be translations, in terms of all the dialogue and whatnot. It was constant. It was always, honestly, really good. Like it was great writing. It felt like it was aiming to be almost a period piece in the way that it represented like its characters through their dialogue.
And the 70s.
Yeah, and again, really, really pumped. I mean, like the main character that you're playing, Hyde, is truly your run-of-the-mill noir mystery protagonist, like man of mystery. You know,
Well, and like you wouldn't have this kind of interaction in a hotel either, up at like after the 90s. You know,
no,
because this time they have a shitty TV in the room. And that's it.
Right. Everybody's being super social and it works for this time because like you said, no, like I definitely had this thought numerous times. I was like, dude, if I ever go to a hotel and some dude keeps coming by to talk to me, I'm gonna fucking call the cops.
Like, this is there's so many times where you're just like, this is weird. Why is it like there's so many interactions of them being so social where it's weird, but then like you said, it's such a period piece.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like such a period piece of where like, no, this kind of makes more sense when you think about
it
like
works with that immersion.
He has a pager,
Oh yeah, dude.
That's like probably modern, like very new technology.
Oh yeah, that was pretty hip.
Like, what the fuck does a salesman have a pager for?
Right,
kind of thing,
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I think I've derailed you some more.
No, you're good.
You're talking about how like it's localized. What part do you think is localized? Rather than trying to describe, like what part is the localization error?
Well, so I'm specifically talking about dialogue. Like it goes from like using strictly American idioms that are extremely well placed and fit perfectly in the conversation and make total sense to sometimes. And I feel like it was mostly in the relation between, like occasionally you'll get those dialogue prompts where you can choose to respond with one or the other. And your selections are always the abbreviated version of what the conversation's actually going to look like. And I felt like sometimes I'd be like, oh, well, I feel like I'm, polarizing these one of two options. Like, okay, they have to be the extremes. So it's kind of a yes, no, like I'm going to support you. I'm going to, not support you kind of shit, whatever the options are. And sometimes I'd pick an option of like, yeah, that's pretty benign, but I feel like that's the direction I want the conversation to go. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. And then Hyde's like, hey, eat shit, go fuck yourself, your mom's a whore. And I'm like, whoa, that is not what I signed up for, dude. Like, put her down gently, dog. What the fuck? So
I did feel I know I felt that is a gripe that I have too, of where like I had the same thing where I'm like, well, I'm not trying to be a total dick, but at the same time I'm also not trying to let this person walk all over me.
Right, I have some boundaries.
And then you get kicked out of the hotel.
Yeah, you're like, well,
why are you assaulting?
Why are you like how you are, motherfucker? Come on.
Yeah, dude, you should be kicked out too because you see what he says or does, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Like,
I know.
Yeah, that is, and then like a few times, not a few. I mean, like, and I'm not saying a few as in like a lot of times. I'm saying a few as in like not very often. You're supposed to choose the aggressive route, right?
Yeah.
And then that's it, though. Don't ever do it again. And just...
Yeah, no. He'll fucking tell an old lady to pound sand. And you're like, dude, what? Bro, excuse you?
He is just an angry... I love that his description of Dunning, is that his name?
The hotel manager?
The hotel manager owner.
Yeah, Dunning.
Yeah, his first interaction and like walk away from it is just like, the old man's kind of a fucking prick, but I can't blame him because of his rundown shithole.
Yeah, he's like, what'd you say?
And really, in the whole conversation, the guy's just been like, welcome to my piece of paradise. Yeah, we call it the wish room because sometimes a couple people have had some wishes granted. But he even says, he's like, I'm not going to bother you with that because, like, I know.
This ain't your I can tell this isn't your thing.
This isn't your thing. He's like, no, tell me, what you think I am. Some kind of, you trying to run some shit over me? He's like, fuck no. Okay, sorry. Here's the story. And, like, he's not, like.
He's a nice dude.
He looks like a dick. I'll give you that. Like, he's got a very intimidating.
He's a bit of a hard ass.
Yeah, but he seems way nicer than Kyle Hyde through the whole fucking.
Yeah, like, so it's a game, obviously, and Kyle Hyde, the main character, does have his redeeming qualities, and he does have a tad of a tragic story.
Yeah.
As do fucking most everyone in this fucking hotel, of course.
Yeah. The first person to walk in after you has a fucking eye patch. Like,
oh god, that old woman.
Yeah.
What's her name? Helen, dude. Helen, yeah.
Yeah, but she's
an interesting one.
He is such a like run of the mill, like you said, lead noir character.
He's an ex cop, quit the force. His partner was he was running with the gang and like
he double crossed him.
Yeah, so he shot him, and then he felt so bad about it. He quit the force,
and then he's
just an angsty, fucked up drunk.
Yeah, he's a
trying
drunk
to figure it, find
in the
answers.
Car,
oh, dude.
The secretary has the hots for him, but he's too cold.
He's too edgy.
Buddy. Yeah.
Oh my god. She's like, I love you, but you're bad for me.
There's a spunky kid staying at the hotel that he runs into.
Oh, dude, let's talk about this kid. She's like I mean, you have to meet Dunning because you got to check into the fucking hotel.
Yeah.
But like, I think straight up, Melissa's actually the next person you meet.
Yeah. Well, then there's Helen, who's there for like, but you don't talk to her one bit.
I straight up told Helen to piss off the first time I ran into her. I just didn't say anything, rather, because you like bump into her and I just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then I left.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I was like, oh, I'm really trying to like go to my room and figure out what the fuck's going on. I don't want to talk to this old woman.
I don't feel like dealing with you.
I do feel like I missed out on something
I'm sure.
She doesn't really talk to me now. But anyway.
Anyways.
This girl, Melissa, she's chilling on the stairs. You have to interact with her to go up to your room.
You have to be nice to her.
You do have to. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to continue playing the game, you have to.
Yeah,
you can definitely be really, really mean to this little girl.
Yeah, dude, you can be so mean.
Dude, it's terrible. And okay, this kid, bro, I still haven't figured out what the fuck is going on with her family.
Oh man,
it sounds really fucking terrible,
bad.
Dude.
I feel so bad for this kid.
She's always talking about her mom, and like, I can't see my mom. I can't figure out if her mom is already dead, if her mom abandoned her, if like her dad killed her mom, like
if she's in jail or prison.
Yeah, in a psych ward.
Psych ward.
Oh fuck, that could be it, dude.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I don't know, dude. It's weird.
I don't know, but he's sketchy as fuck. He's allegedly like a doctor or a surgeon.
The dad, yeah, he's a surgeon.
But he's got the weirdest mustache I've ever, like, just the creepiest dude.
He just, like, it's so hard because the game gives you the side of like, hey, this could just be a really stressed out dad who doesn't know how to break some really shitty news to his only daughter, and his shit is clearly going on, and he just doesn't know how to handle it, and he's trying really hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't say,
or this guy fucking sucks and probably killed his wife and is really verbally and emotionally abusive to his daughter.
Just leaves the daughter, like, just like.
He's just like not keep an eye on
once
her.
Again, period piece, right? Like they had to release that whole ad campaign of where are your kids and all that. So, but
yeah, dude,
you're gonna let your kid run around a hotel, like and so here's one thing too, is that everyone besides Dunning talks some smack about the hotel being this like rundown piece of shit.
Yeah,
it's got a restaurant in it. It's got a bar in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's got, like, a front lobby and, like, a little hangout spot. That's not the nicest, but, like...
It's a little, like, home away from... I got serious B&B vibes. Like, old school, like... Dude, nothing fancy, but you want a comfy spot to go and be social with a bunch of other passerbyers that are just popping in for the night. And, like, I get some... Yeah.
You remember when we used to go to the Fishbowl, the bar that was in the Holiday Inn?
Yeah, before the Christians bought it?
No, they were, I don't know, Hindu or something.
Sure.
Whatever.
The religious people that took out the bar.
Yeah.
Whoever they are, God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I remember the Fishbowl. That was kind of cool. Just randomly meet just randomest people.
Yeah.
Like sit next to a millionaire and a woman whose life just fucking ended.
And then there's someone else that's just like creeping in the back.
Yeah, just being a fucking
like
weirdo.
It's on some weird phone call. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was cool.
It was. And it gives you that weird...
a slice of life that you wouldn't really otherwise get to witness.
Yeah.
But like it's everyone's, paths crossing at this junction, and you just get a little snapshot of everyone all at once, but just in brief, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's just got such a powerful allure to it. It's cool.
This game, now you talk about, you just mentioned time, and like that is something that I want to talk about, along with the atmosphere that it gives you. It does such a good job of controlling the tone, because there are times when it's just like chill. It doesn't matter. I've got a lot of time to do whatever and look around. Mm-hmm. And then there's a couple times where like you're supposed to be in a rush. That time moves based on the actions that you make.
Yes.
You have to progress time, right? So the game is put into chapters, and the chapters are sliced up into like 15 to 20 minutes increments of time.
Yeah, you get like different checkpoints, and like you'll hit a checkpoint in your chapter, and then it'll be like, oh, it's now 10 minutes later or whatever. Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a cool. I got Majora's Mask vibes a little bit from it, which felt pretty cool.
But it gives you the freedom and the time to explore. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, when you need to get something done, it does a great job of delivering urgency. I felt the need of like, fuck, I gotta get this thing done, and I can't figure it out, and I gotta get it done in time, and I'm afraid that if I make the wrong step, I'm gonna progress time.
Yeah, not have figured this thing out. Yeah,
and I thought that was such a cool. What a great job of controlling the atmosphere and the tone and the mood, with not even changing the music, just by the dialogue that you have. Mm-hmm. It is profound.
It is cool. I will say there were times where the dialogue felt to drag, and it's not because there wasn't anything of consequence happening with the dialogue itself or anything like that. I think for me, I'm just a little spoiled on like being able to set insane text speeds in games nowadays, because I'll just glance at it and I'm like, okay, I got it. You put 4 words on the screen. I have read them already. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit, it slows it down pretty heavily.
It does.
So
it's a game that you go in taking your time, right?
Yeah.
Like it is.
When I first played this, right after you got me this DS, I know it had Hotel Dusk on it. And I remember I picked it up and I was like, whoa, it plays like a book. Holy fuck. And then I was like, cool, let's play this game. And I was like, I know this game slaps. I know it slaps huge PP. And I just cannot fucking stand it right now. Because I'm like, I just want to play game. I want to be gaming.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a walking simulator. You are going to get a fantastic story. You're going to put in some legwork. You're going to do a couple of puzzles. But like, you're here to ride it in its own time.
Yeah.
And you have to let it play through.
It is. It's really interesting because if you look it up, it's like anywhere from 11 to 15 hour play time.
I'm at 13.
Yeah, and that's if you know what you're doing, I feel like.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that assessment.
Because it's so funny because I bet the game takes place over a day and a half or something like that. But
yeah,
it takes so long to get through. It's not a drag usually. You know, you're saying some of the conversations.
You get stuck on a couple of things maybe, but like you can kind of...
You just keep chipping away at it. And you're surprised because I played this game through the entirety of our 2 weeks. It's not often that like every day I'm playing the game. I think I missed like 2 or 3 days out of the 2 weeks that I didn't play this. And I'm like you said, like I've put in like almost like I'm sure I've put in the 15 hours, but I'm on like chapter 3 like you are. Like I'm like right there. So it's impressive. It is and it isn't a pick up and put down kind of game because like you said, it's so hard to always remember what you were doing. I don't always write in the memo what I was doing, and I do get a little lost. I have to figure out what I was doing. It is such a better sit down and play it through all the way kind of game, but it is also because the dialogue isn't it's not necessarily like that it drags or it's slow. It's just like reading a really like intense book, not intense, but not a 6th grade level book, you know, like reading a book that's got some real depth to it, some words that you might have to look up, something that you really have to digest, and it takes you like 20 minutes to read like 5 pages. It's like one of those books because you're having to pay attention to every detail. It's because you know you're playing this as a detective, kind of like a private eye, so you're trying to pay attention all over. Is he okay? Did he just die on the ground?
No, he's just talking. Did he just flip over? Yeah, he does that.
I just heard the death cry.
Oh no, he has a kind of a raspy and shrill mew.
Me too.
It's unsettling as fuck, and like I legit don't know if I just need to be like, all right, well come here and tell me what's going on, or if I need to like rush over and save him from death. Yeah,
just keep you on your toes.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, he's cute though.
Yeah, he is absolutely adorable. We've got a new podcast host. Was he here for the last? He was here for the last recording, right?
Right? Yeah.
You've had him for more than 2 weeks.
Fuck. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because he's already been to the vet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. See you later.
You saw something.
All right, you go get that.
Oh. I will say, when I first started playing the game, I really didn't think that all of the characters were going to be as consequential as they appear to turn into.
Well, they all have so much depth and backstory.
And it's pretty well thought out. Like it's fleshed. Like, I mean, maybe I'm just so far removed from what a good game could be, you know, with the state of games these days. But
no, it's something I was kind of thinking about is that it does such a good job of setting up these tropes of characters that you see in the noir type story, but then venturing away from that a little bit or going a little deeper into it and giving them their own personality. What's the bellhop's name? The guy that he knows from
Louis. Or Lewis.
Yeah. He's a great character.
I like Lewis
fun,
a lot.
Obvious comic relief. And this
he's the dopey screw up. He got his shit kind of put back together, but he's still kind of a bum. But he's a lovable guy. He means well.
Bum. Yeah. He's definitely like the opposite of Kyle.
Oh,
like
for sure.
Your protagonist, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I love that you end up working, like you guys become like partners of like circumstance, opportunity.
Yeah.
Whatever.
A little bit of both. Yeah, because you both have two different.
Yeah, you kind of find out that you're sort of working towards the same thing, or at least you kind of can use each other.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, he works at the hotel and has like access to stuff that you shouldn't.
Need access to.
Yeah. And I love it because he's like super gung ho, and Kyle's like, "Fuck me, dude. God damn it.
This is my guy. This is my in. All right." But also he sticks up for him, and it's really sweet and endearing, and it's cool.
That's the shitty thing, because like I want to be the gruff guy, but like, oh, I've got a soft inside, and I don't like to let other people see it because I've been hurt before, you know. But like, I'm a softie.
It is very.
That's how I wanted to play Kyle, and I think that's why I was so frustrated with some of those disconnects.
Well, and it is. You can tell it is too, because then also like the ways that he interacts with Melissa as well, the little girl.
Yeah, that's true.
He's really like looking out for her after that first interaction. He's kind of figuring out that like, oh, she's going through some shit.
Yeah.
It seems like he gives more of a fuck than the dad does from the perspective that you're given.
Yeah.
You know, thus far.
Dude, I think her story or role or whatever, I want to know what the fuck is going on with her, because like straight up, I'm like, I know that this is a story on rails to an extent, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't know until you mentioned that there were multiple endings. It doesn't really surprise me, but even still, like I know like your options are limited to what was developed, and you definitely were a lot more limited back then, right? You're not getting Baldur's Gate 3 or Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know, man. I'm not a fanboy.
But
BG3 is what I call it.
There you
Anyway, but I'm like, man, dude, like I want to know what the fuck is going on, because I swear to God, dude, if like her dad's a piece of shit and like I'm gonna intervene, dude. I'm gonna fucking adopt Melissa or some shit, take her home with me, and we're gonna go find, you know, my ex-partner or whatever. I don't fucking know.
Have two ex-cops raising this chick.
Yeah, dude.
Hell
Little sitcom spinoff.
Yeah, I like it. It's
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, I don't think that's what the sequel is.
Man, the sequel. I'm so bummed. It never came out in the U.S.
It came out in the UK though,
I think Japan and UK.
so there is an English version.
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, maybe that's not on our list, but we'll fucking play it.
Dude,
Absolutely.
I do want to play it.
Yeah, I remember way back playing it, getting into it, and I was like, fuck, it's been so long since I've played Hotel Dusk that I want to go back and play through Hotel Dusk. And then when I got done playing through Hotel Dusk, I was like, I don't have it in me to fucking play it. Like, it's like I said, it's like reading
It is heavy.
book.
It is
heavy,
a somewhat taxing experience,
Yeah.
right? Especially if you're a relaxing gamer.
right, which
You
we're
know,
definitely
unwinding
more
gamer.
transition to. A
Yeah.
little more casual. Just some casual gamers making a 3,000 episode.
No sweat,
podcast.
dude. No sweat.
Another thing I love about it is I think that we already talked about, but barely covered the music.
Oh, I don't think we've talked about the music at all.
Oh,
It's so awesome, dude. It fits so well. There's only like 20, like low 20s in terms of how many tracks.
well, and what they're both probably all tracks are like a minute long, maybe.
Yeah, they just loop.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. We were talking about it earlier before we hit the record button, you know, as we do, and it's like the best fucking elevator music of all time.
It's like the coolest, just the best looping background music, because you can do Animal Crossing's background music for your browser, and it will change based on what time it is, just like how in Animal Crossing.
That's
I want
cool.
that for this game. It would be even better of just like you said, because you said you would listen to it at work.
Yeah.
And I could see myself just pounding shit out listening to this.
Oh,
This
it's
is
great,
writing
dude. It's
music.
really groovy. It's intricate and complex enough that like the loops are clever, man. It's good, it's clean, and like honest to God, for a while I didn't really realize that it was just looped. I was like, yeah, this it's just going, but it's very atmospheric because you get a lot of different music in a lot of different places, and they mean like the different tracks mean different things. Like,
Yeah.
it really sets the tone for what's happening wherever you are. And like every time you exit a room or something and go back into the main hallway of the hotel, you get the hotel music, and it's
Yes.
just like, boom, I'm back outside, man. We're walking around the fucking hotel. Let's go.
I'm trying to think if it was that music. It was one of the songs. I think it was the main music that Morgan thought, she goes, that's Rugrats. That's just the Rugrats song.
That's funny.
And I would have to play them side by side. I don't hear it at all.
I've never seen an episode of Rugrats.
But you know it.
I do.
That's pretty impressive.
Thank you. I didn't know I had that.
I couldn't even
It's
hear
in
it
there,
my
dude.
head.
I hear that.
Good
I
job.
hear that jungle beat. Yeah, it's groovy. It slaps. I love it.
Well, and you said
Ugh.
you're comparing it to elevator music, and every time you say that, it almost throws me off a little bit, because I'm like, it's kind of an insult, I feel like.
It is.
But
it is an insult. But
It almost is elevator music, but then it has, like you said, that intricacy of right as it's about to be boring elevator music, it's got this nice little light lead that goes in, and
I
changes
couldn't even
up a
tell you
little bit.
what. I'm not a musically inclined person that way.
No,
but
and well, that's the thing is that I have looked at the sound fonts that they used to make this music, because I wanted to make some beats that use this.
oh
same.
hell yeah.
They had to have done so much editing, and like I have no idea. I have no idea how they made what they made with what they. I guess I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I can't get into it. I'm not musically inclined, so there could easily be someone like, well, obviously it's just this.
Yeah, you just tweak this fucking thing right here.
To my layman's ears and eyes, it is truly impressive.
I love
how ambient and ambient, just mood setting.
Oh yeah,
they were able to use the sounds of the DS. It kicks, dude. You can just throw it on. There were so many times where I had turned my DS on, I was playing it, and I had something come up, and I would set it down. I'd be playing while Ren was napping. He'd wake up. I'd set it down and go get him. And the next thing I know, it's been playing in the background for like 30 minutes while we've been playing.
Yeah, just chilling.
Just hanging. Just
mad chilling.
Good background music. You don't even notice it's going.
Yeah, usually when I pause a game, I'll close the lid so the music stops. Not this game. Fucking leave that shit open, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want everything about this game. I will definitely be finishing this game. Mm-hmm. I think there's 10 chapters?
Yeah, I believe it's about 10.
Fuck, and I'm literally
on 4. Just started.
Well, I'm ending 3 literally right now. Like the game is paused right next to me.
Yeah.
So I will be finishing this in between somewhere eventually, but this game's fucking dope. If you do play this game, we should probably warn you about the bookmark.
Yeah, the bookmark has me kind of stuck right now.
Ugh.
It's something I don't remember ever running into before, and I guess it's something that a lot of people have run into. It seems to be pretty infamously terrible. And
God, dude.
You have a box, and there's a bookmark stuck in there.
Yeah, you just gotta shake it out.
DS, it's on the stylus part, so you obviously just gonna tap the box to shake the box to get it to come out of one of the flaps.
Apparently, it's because you can rotate the box and flip it.
So it's got to do with one of the ways that you have to probably rotate it so many ways into the right way.
Dude, I read so many different forums about this particular topic because I personally spent about 30 minutes.
Oh, I'm way past that.
And dude, it was almost like baseball rituals. Like everyone was like, "No, this is how I do it. I don't deviate, and this works for me every time. I dare not change my routine."
I slap my shoe 2 times.
Yeah, they're rotate the box 3 times to the left, flip it 1 time, tap it 10 times, go back to it. I'm not shitting you, dude. It and it's every single person has a slightly different one. I'm like, no, you just have to shake it this way, flip it over, shake it the other way, and then. Whoop,
rotate,
there it is.
Rotate.
Dude, no, I probably tapped every single fucking side of that box hundreds of times.
Yeah. I've murdered my screen, I feel like.
Yeah, dude. I was like, dude, this can't be real. I'm like, okay, well, pause. Think like a developer. Okay, I'm an asshole and I fucking hate children and I'm going to make a puzzle for this fucking
There's
game.
got to be just one flap I can grab
and
pull
shit.
down. No. Ugh.
I wasn't even relieved when I finally flipped it over and the bookmark was just randomly there.
Mad.
I was just like, why? What did I do? What? I don't even know how I solved this. I'm so annoyed. I'm really glad I can continue to play the game, but fuck, this should not have been. I was excited to go get the bookmark because I was like, oh, why is Martin Summer the author?
Martin Summer, yeah.
Yeah. Why is he being so weird about this bookmark that was in this box? He was being so cryptic about it, you know?
Well, and it's got an angel on it. The girl's doll that you got back to her is an angel.
Mm-hmm.
There
definitely seems to be a weird theme that's suddenly introduced.
Room, right?
Yeah. So I may have accidentally acquired some gentle spoilers.
Yeah.
And not actually spoilers as much as it paints a more defined stroke as to what the actual plot of this story is. And I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just going to say that. The art, the painting, the painting is actually a huge part of the story.
Yeah.
Not, for me, that was out of left field. Although, you then refactor in the fact that, okay, but you're, in halfway through chapter 3 of 10, you're still figuring what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and it does kind of give you at the beginning. It keeps talking about the fact that your ex-partner and you were investigating a art ring, like an art thievery or
you're
something
not
like that.
wrong.
Not thievery. What was it? Fraud.
Like, art fucking.
What do you call that?
Yeah, what do you call it? Art theft?
Not,
Art
was it
thievery?
theft or was it? I thought it was that they were like
Forgery?
Forgery.
Faking?
I thought it was forging.
Painting?
Yeah.
Art enthusiasts?
Forging is
with
cool.
criminal histories?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm annoyed by how bad that was.
We
Whatever
got
they're called.
there,
Art
dude.
thieves.
Art thieves.
Scum of the earth.
Forges. Put two.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, so I mean, it does give you an idea of there being art, and like, so it's not. It doesn't totally blow you. It's not like, oh, this doesn't make sense. Why is there all of a sudden stolen art in this? It makes sense, kind of. I mean,
No, it definitely
and
does.
it weirdly makes sense. And it
I'd forgotten about the art.
And your main character, Kyle, is not unaware of how fucking weird it is that, like, okay, I'm staying in this room that grants wishes or gives people, quote unquote, what they want or what they've been looking for. And there's this like something about the missing painting like being there in the hotel that he just happened to stop by. And all of a sudden I'm starting to feel sketched out about his manager at the sales corporation deal, that this is who put him there.
Yeah.
You know?
There's definitely a lot of
it's
like
very
background string pulling, and everything is interconnected. Like, and it's such an intricate story, and for all the little gripes, it carries through. Although the bookmark is excessive.
It is a very excessive gripe. I thought the crowbar one was kind of bad.
Oh, you're gonna be so mad.
But this
so
one,
the first time I played, because my save corrupted like
uh-huh.
halfway through chapter 2, so I had to start over. And you would ask me about the crowbar. I didn't even. I was like, "What crowbar puzzle?" I was like, "I don't."
Yeah, because you just passed it by so quick.
Yeah, I didn't even. It wasn't even a thing.
The only times I've played through it, I've had no problems with it before. I don't know.
Only on the second time that I realized, as I was like, "This is the only time you use a crowbar. This has to be what he's talking about."
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, well, maybe you were talking about like how to do the connect the dots.
No,
because I didn't. It took me a second to realize what that was for, or how that went into effect. I was like, I'm drawing, I'm connecting them. Why is nothing happening?
I didn't use it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I know that you could draw and connect it, but
Do you want me to tell you?
We'll talk about it after the podcast.
All right, bet. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. I thought it was a required component of what you have to do, but maybe not. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Yes. Strokes.
Yeah,
Non-existent beard maniacally.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite. 10 out of 10 game. Honestly,
Absolutely, yeah.
honestly, probably 11 out of 10.
It's such a. I find it so hard to talk about this game because it's so good.
It is. I will say it sits in its own realm. Like, I mean, if you were gonna try a walking sim, try this one. It's really good. Be patient with it.
Walking sim is a little, because a walking sim is like Deer Esther, where you're literally just walking. This involves a bit more.
You're not wrong. Yeah, it's got all of the elements of a traditional
graphic
point and click.
Novel. It's a great
graphic novel for sure. I would downplay honestly the point and click stuff because it is an element, and when it's there, and you have to do it, and so to do.
But there's a lot of times where it won't let you advance the game to the point where you screw yourself, like an actual point and click.
Yeah, that is true. Like, oh, I'm sorry you didn't grab that banana peel that was sitting on the floor behind the trash can in the bar 20 seconds into the game. It's actually the Holy Grail, and
you needed that to finish this
fucking
last
idiot.
level, you fucking moron.
Yeah, should have read every book in the library.
King's Quest 6. It's golden. It's like pieces of gold that you pick up, and you're in the fucking catacombs with the Minotaur or the maid, whatever it is that the Minotaur is in, right? And you are supposed to pull the gold up from this fucking like dead body or something like that, as you're supposed to be running through and getting away from this fucking Minotaur. So then later on, as you're in hell trying to get back to the fucking use the boat to ride on River of Styx.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Karos?
He's asking for...
Oh, shit. You need to pay him for the ferry ride.
You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're stuck there.
Oh,
Game
shit.
over. Fuck, dude.
That's
I hate
so
that.
fucking
I
funny.
hate that shit. It's cool. I like, is it cool though?
I don't know, man. Sometimes games go hard.
Sometimes too hard.
Yeah, I feel it. This one felt right. It was a good amount.
Yeah.
Wonderful story.
It doesn't have that. It will not let you block yourself.
That's true. It just, you might not be able to pass the bookmark, but be patient, be persistent. Don't take no for an answer. It's the only time you'll hear me say that.
Good coverage. Yeah, excellent game. It was so fun to revisit this. It reminded me of that feeling of like, oh man, I wish I could experience this again for the first time. And I can.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember how it ends. There's so many things I forgot
so
about.
Complex, yeah.
I'm being reminded of all these things as I'm going, and I'm like, oh, I kind of remember this one thing. But it was so fun to get to look at this again, and go back to it, get to experience it again for the first time, kind of.
Yeah.
I love it. And if you want to experience it, kind of like Ed said, as a first-person walking simulator deal, watch a playthrough of it. I bet this is a great game to watch a playthrough of.
Yeah, honestly. I had to fight the temptation because there's a lot of games that we play that I know I'll never go back to. But I'm like, well, I do want to know what else does this game have to offer? Like, one, I want to be able to talk to it with a broader scope of like,
I want to talk to you.
No, like speak to it, like talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, with a broader sense of understanding, like because sometimes I don't make it very far, or get a chance to put very much time, or have the interest to put in much time.
Yeah.
So this is one of those games that I have not done that with. Unless it's to look at like the bookmark. I'm like, I need video of how people have done this. And like, here's some fucking 6-year-old just like, oh, I just need beep, beep, bookmark. I'm like, all right, fuck you, kid, but
yeah.
No, spoiler free, trying to avoid, well, except for a little bit of this. Not really spoilers, just clued you into more of what the story's about. But no, I can't wait to finish this out and see how it ends.
Yeah, I think too, once, because I've been in the same boat. I'm going to keep chipping away at this one for sure.
It'll take a while.
When we do finish it too, I think I'm going to want to do a spoiler episode, where we do dig into
that would be fun.
The ending and conversation about it, because I'm sure there's philosophy in this that could be discussed, that who the characters represent, because they all represent these certain things, right? I'm sure of it, that you can.
There's a lot of
do an in-depth
soliloquy, but there's a lot of analogous writing, I feel like.
I don't know what that word means.
Or allegorical, maybe?
Allegorical sounds like a word that I should know what it means. Where it assigns
yeah, so like people are playing tropes, but it's like maybe it's like more the story is a representation or the personification of individual like things within a certain.
Absolutely. I know what you're trying to get at.
Not going to be a dictionary anytime soon, am I? But yeah, no.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Where it's like, I bet we could do a just really in-depth analysis of each character, what it is that they are representing, what the story represents, what our theories on it are. It is a beautiful telling of a story. Just outside of video gaming and all of that, it's just a beautiful story that I think could be told through film. And I would love to see this correctly made into a movie.
This would be such a cool something.
When you look up a playthrough of it, it's 11 hours.
Yeah, dude. It's a big story, and there's a lot happening, and most of that time there's a lot of little steps, and you got to do a lot. You got to talk to a lot of people, and I mean, you could tell this story in a different format much more quickly. There's still a lot there. Oh, I would be.
I mean, I don't think you can.
It makes me nervous to think of somebody taking this on, because there's a lot to capture than just the story. Like we spent so much Jack, bro, easy, easy. Get down from there. That's not a perch for you. What are you, a bird? This isn't. You would have to include that same level of charm and atmosphere, and still find it a way to present that in a totally different medium. I feel like this is one of those stories that is best told on the medium that it was originally designed for. Like, and sometimes that's a miss, but this one definitely hit pretty good. Jack, bro.
DJ Jack in the house, trying to mess with the mouse.
I don't know why, but he really likes to like take naps on that wood. Like right there.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Well, I'm trying to keep him away from. I see.
Yeah, it's okay. Jack.
Sorry, Jack boy.
Come here, dude.
Well, I think that we have covered this because what you're describing right now about it being made into a film is everything that I felt about covering this game. After I've been loving playing this, and then it dawned on me a few days ago, how the fuck are we gonna do this any justice whatsoever? And if we do, it's just gonna be us just kissing up to it the whole time. But I think we've done as good as a job as we can to tell you that this is a beautiful piece of art. Totally worth taking in.
Oh, yeah.
100% recommend it. Let's move on to our next game. We were smart. Ed was smart.
Hey, yeah.
We randomized before we started. What are we going to be playing for the next 2 weeks?
Guilty Gear Dust Strikers.
As I recall, with Guilty Gear, it's like a
JRPG?
Nope. This is a 2D fighter with rock and roll elements.
Oh, okay.
It's like very Japanese rock.
Hell yeah. Okay, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah. I'm kind of stoked to get into the memorizing of the patterns and all that.
Definitely a change of pace, that's for sure.
There's a huge change of pace. I'm also okay with it. It's kind of going to be hopefully a little easier on the brain, you know.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm
like
okay
doing
with that.
more muscle memory than it is like following a story. This is more just like memorizing fucking fight moves.
Yeah. I think I can handle that. We'll see.
And maybe near the end of the week, we were supposed to do this with Death Jr. and we didn't do it, but maybe we'll do a local multiplayer.
Oh, that. Yeah, we really should do that.
Yeah, especially with the fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Absolutely do.
All right, we'll look forward to that.
All right. Well, that's a wrap, gamers. Thanks for joining us on this dusty, spooky, and atmospheric, comfy, possibly purgatory-like adventure.
To the next one?
Till the next one.